Hey guys, so today we are going to look at how to properly model the interior of this Lego using the surface modeler Rhino. And using essentially the basically bottom, top, and side plan views that make up the geometry of the Lego brick. So we're going to carefully build out this geometry, and although there's a number of different ways to do this, I'll try to do this as clearly as possible so that you can follow along. So I'm going to delete these layers not to confuse us, and if you look here, what I've done is I've got a bottom view, top and side on different layers. Also have some construction geometry that I probably won't need to use, but I have it there all the same. So to get started, what we first need to do is we're going to select the primary curves or closed polylines that we need to extrude upwards that inform the interior surfaces of the Lego. So I'm grabbing the outer wall, the inner wall, and then the three posts. So to do that, first you can go type Extrude Curve, and you'll see it's extruding. And since I've got my side view here, or profile of the brick, I know precisely how high I need to bring it up. So we'll bring it there, got my O-snap on, click it, and snap it into place. Okay. So we can, I'm actually going to create a new layer here, and we're going to call it actual geometry. Perhaps, no, let's call it Lego geometry. And this is basically going to be a layer that I'm going to do all of my, build all my surfaces in, so I can turn off other layers so I don't get confused as this gets a little more complex. So grab all your surfaces and copy them over, say, change object layer. So now we can in fact turn off our bottom views there, so I'm not going to be snapping and clicking on things that I don't need to. Next thing I need to do is to create a bottom, or actually it's going to be the bottom of the interior side of this brick. I know that it's about 1 millimeter down from the top. So first thing I'll do is move this, or rather copy it. Just type in copy, grab your corner, bring it up here. And the next thing we need to do is I'm going to just make a surface out of this real quick. So we'll go planar surface, since it's all a flat rectangle, like so. And the next thing I need to do is, I made two surfaces accidentally, so I'm going to grab one surface. I'm going to move it down 1 millimeter. So I'm going to say vertical yes. Grab the corner here, and I'm going to say 1. didn't mean to do that. Let's step up, try it one more time. Try one more time. Move it down. Okay, that way. Sometimes it likes to just snap on and move it automatically. There we go. It's now down 1 millimeter. So the purpose for doing this is that I now have a surface A that I'll be using, but also can use this to cut away these surfaces that will not be actually protruding into the interior wall of the Lego brick. So I'm going to use this to trim. I'm going to say trim, type in trim. It says select object to trim, so I can now go about, we don't want to do that, clipping away these internal surfaces. If you make a mistake, just go Control Z. If you're using a PC, it's Function Z. If you're using a Mac. And we'll grab that guy, and that's all we need for there. Now what we need to do is cut away the surface for the geometry that will be actually penetrating this interior wall. That would include the exterior wall. If you could think of it as a house. If you think of it as a house, this would be the inside of the 2 walls. So we're going to cut away this, as well as the interior of these pipes right here. So let's go ahead and type in trim. Well, deselect that surface. We're going to say trim, and we're going to grab this geometry, this one, as well as these 2, and then finally this pipe and this pipe, as well as go ahead and grab the exterior wall there. Okay, say enter. And we will now go ahead and start cutting away. So there goes one wall. Next we want to get rid of the interior here. As well as the interior here. Okay, so if we back up, maybe that'll be easier to see. And just press enter. Okay, good. So now we've got the exterior of the brick. This will be the bottom of the brick. This is going to be the top interior ceiling of the brick. And now what we want to do is I'm actually going to create one more layer. I'm going to say Lego top geometry. I'm going to do this to kind of keep things separate, so I don't confuse myself, and also so I can lock down this layer so I don't keep on clicking on it. So I'm going to lock that, so now I can no longer grab anything, except say for a few things. I'm going to grab this being my top profile of the brick. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to create using this outside curve as well as these circles. See how nice it is to have blocked all that out. And I'm going to make a surface out of these. So I'm going to go planar surf. Okay, good. So that's going to make a nice, good geometry. We can see that we have a good space for the material that would make up the actual plastic of the Lego brick. And to make things a little easier, I'm going to go to perhaps shaded mode. And turn this back to, say, gray, dark gray, say OK. Maybe shaded isn't the best. So it's no. Anyways, few too many bells and whistles. Turn on, turn off the shadows. We don't need that. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab each one of these edges and I'm going to extrude them. So I'm going to, I can say Extrude Curve. I'm going to say Select Curves to Extrude. I'm going to start with this one. Let's just grab the surface edge. Actually, back up 1 second for me. If you go down to Filter, and I want to turn off poly surfaces, so I'm not going to actually select it. Poly surface and surfaces in general. Okay, so now I can just select these curves. The reason why I'm doing this is, although likely these curves are perfectly planar with that surface, I'd rather just use the edge here to drive my geometry. Turn back on your filters just to make sure that we've got as watertight of a model as possible. So we'll go back to Extrude Curve and then now grab each one of these circles and press enter when done. And now, since we have this profile again, we can use it as a reference. Make sure you got the snap-on. You notice they all basically come up together. Perfect. And now I can go about joining these all together. So type in join. And the next thing we can do is actually close up these caps by going again planar surface, and we can go through and select each one of these little tops, press enter, and then again we'll just select all of them, the top surface join. If you click and they all light up, good. They've all lit up. Now I can go back to my layer, change this object layer back to my Lego geometry. I'm going to open that back up. Choose your Lego geometry layer again. So now I can join these two together. I'm going to type in join. And now we've got a nice solid surface for this exterior wall. Now what we need to do is close up these surfaces here. So if I grab, I'm going to say planar surface, and I'm going to grab this edge. I think we can do that, that'll be fine. And that edge, and now I'll try something here real quick. If I just grab all these. Okay, it did too much. Let me back up a little bit. So one thing we can do, there's a command called Dupe Border. So if I grab that, and I choose this, you'll see that it made me two nice borders, all closed. I'm going to try this again. Say Dupe Border, and click on this guy. You'll see that it made me two nice borders. We can ignore that other border for now. So now, if I do a planar surface, I can grab my exterior curves as well as this curve and this curve, and press enter, and that made a nice good solid surface. This surface right here, I'm actually going to trim this surface away. Okay, good. And now we want to make a surface for this pipe. So if you go planar surface again, planar surf. Oops, sorry, we didn't need to have that selected. So try it again. Planar surface, grab that circle and that circle, this circle and this circle, press enter, and we now made a nice good connection there. So we can grab, hopefully, these three, say join. Let's see if that stuck together. Good. Join this together. That seems to have worked. Now we'll grab, you could probably just grab the whole thing and say join. I'm just doing it to make sure I haven't made any mistakes. And I'm just holding shift. I'm just going to select the rest of this stuff and say join. Okay, so and let's not forget the exterior wall, join. So now the whole brick is whole and joined together. Now we just have a few minor details to deal with. So if we turn back on our bottom geometry, we've got these 8 divots that are actually the interior walls of these posts. So if I grab all of these circles, or curves rather, we can do something called project, where it will take a curve and project it onto a surface. Since these circles are precisely where they need to be, we can say project. It says select the surface or polysurfaces you wish to project onto, and I can select this, and you'll see that it's made me basically every surface that it hits, it puts another curve. Fortunately, since I've got well, let's just go ahead, and to remove some of the confusion, we'll just grab the curves. Again, you could, if you want to, turn on your filter and deselect polysurfaces, so you can just select things quickly. Make sure you get the top one. And we'll just delete these guys. And I'm going to hide away the bottom geometry again. So now we're just left with these circles. Turn back. Actually, we can just leave our poly surfaces off for now. And what we want to do is grab all of these curves. And we are going to want to extrude these curves. Say, go to Extrude Curve. And what we want to do is extrude these down, and we want to go actually both sides. So we can type in B or just click right here, and we want to go make them 1, so 1 millimeter. Try that again. Okay. I believe that's correct. So now what we want to do is grab all of your little divots, and I'm going to use a command called cap. This is going to close these up into solids. So I'll select onto that. I should get, oh, I still have my poly surfaces deselected. Remember when you're using filters, what you're doing. So I can grab this guy now, and let me try this real quick. I'm going to say, so grab this puck and grab the object and say Boolean difference. Let's try it again. Select poly surfaces to subtract from, so I'm going to grab this guy and then subtract with this guy, deplete input, yes. Press enter. It didn't work out the way I wanted to. Let's try Boolean 2 objects. So the first object is that guy, second object is that guy. Okay, that made it precisely what I want. So we can do this fairly quickly if we just right click, click and click, right click. See, it's making our divots for us. This guy and that guy, right click again, puck and the object, do it again, okay, this guy and that guy, very good, and 2 more times, and then the last time we'll grab this guy and this guy, and then just to show you what would happen if I kept on clicking through, the Boolean is of course going to go through and show me my different Boolean options. So there's a positive, there's a negative, enter, good. Okay, so now I've got a nice good brick. It looks like we have a good tolerance internally here. The only thing I can think of that we might do to make this a little more correct is that this actually, there's a 1-inch cut right here to allow for the clearance of your Lego brick. So since we're here, we might as well give it a shot. I can again get my geometry that I need to use to cut by duping the, actually I'm going to go duplicate edge. I'm going to grab that edge. Okay, I'm going to copy this over using my quad snap here. Move it over. So now I've got a nice curve. I'm going to actually again use this Lego top geometry just because I have it handy. Change the object layer, switch over, lock away your Lego geometry so you're not constantly stepping on yourself. And I'm going to create myself a cutting tool. So I'm going to create a polyline here. I'm going to go from here down to here, down to here, and then over to here. And I'm going to go ahead and make one over here as well. So we'll just clip there and then there. So we got two curves, and we can trim away this curve and this curve. And what we should be left with is two nice curves to work with, so we can actually use this to cut down. So let's go ahead and try to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a surface to Boolean difference into this brick. So I'm going to try it on this side first. I'm going to go extrude this curve, and I want to go down, I believe I want to go down one. We'll do both sides because we want to be kind of extending beyond the geometry that we want to cut. So we'll do both sides, and let me see what one's going to look like. That's not far enough. So let's see what 3 is like. That feels a little more accurate. And we're going to want to close this up. So to do that, oh doggone it, what I did was I forgot to include this curve right here. So I'm going to grab all 3 of these. I'm going to say join them up. Now I'm going to extrude the curve by 3, and I'm going to cap it, make it watertight, and now I'm going to Boolean, we'll turn back our Lego geometry back on, and so now I'm going to just say Boolean two objects, and that looks like that gave me precisely what I wanted. So I'm going to say enter. And you say with the Boolean, it already closes up everything for you. That's why it's a good use here. And that might be a little deep. I'm going to back up actually. I'm going to make it 2. So if we grab our guy again and say extrude curve, go 2, both sides, cap it up, and then Boolean two objects. I'm going to click this guy, and we've got to turn this layer back on so we can select it. It made exactly what I wanted. Enter, and then now I'm going to do the same thing over here. So first, grab your curve, grab your other curve, join them up, extrude curve both sides. Yes, by, what was it, 2? Say 2. Cap this off. It's nice and solid. And now we're going to boolean two objects. So grab your cutting tool, then your object. Made a nice cut. So that appears to be it. I'm going to grab my Lego. I'm going to type in check. What this is going to do says your Rhino polysurface object is valid. It means that it's watertight. There's no holes. To get outside of any remnant geometry, we can just make a copy and move it away. And we can flip around and take a look at our creation. And there it is. So that is how you do that.